Hey guys, welcome to the latest installment of Fitness, Nutrition, and Mindset. To, Today we're going to talk about understanding your workouts. Um, the fitness industry is an industry, and it is definitely built to make money, not to specifically make you guys fit. Um, there's a lot of like noise when it comes to like, oh, this is what you should be doing. Oh, that's what you should be doing. Oh, you should be doing this. Um, and some of it doesn't help you at all. So today what I want to talk about is just basically like getting the most out of your workouts, at least at the beginning. And I'll explain why I say that when I get further into the video. At least at the beginning, getting the most out of your workouts, because again, like there's so many things out there, and I think people are just confused, potentially, or just don't know what to do. So I want to talk about sort of two aspects of working out. One would be like strength training, lifting weights, and the other one is going to be cardio. So we're going to actually start with cardio. We're just going to give a quick sort of explanation of it, and then we're going to move on to sort of the lifting portion. Excuse me. Um, so cardio, a lot of people are under the impression that like cardio burns fat, whereas that isn't the case. Cardio burns calories, and that's all it does. Um, which is good if you're trying to lose weight, like we talked about in the last video. It's calories in versus calories out. So if you go to the gym, you get on a piece of cardio equipment, treadmill, bike, rower, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, you are activating those muscles that are working, but really it's gonna, as you go through your sort of whatever, let's call it 20-minute session. The little tracker counts how many calories you are, as long as you put in your weight and all that kind of stuff on certain machines. And then, let's say for the sake of making this easy to talk about, you burn 100 calories. Burn 100 calories on your little session. So realistically, that's what it does for you, is that it has burned 100 calories, and therefore you would be, if you ate the same, you would be 100 calories in deflect, if you're eating exactly. So if that doesn't make sense what I'm talking about, go watch the last video and then come back and see this one. So that's what cardio does for you. It burns calories. What I want to talk about is strength training now. So strength training is definitely something that everyone should have in their workout routine to an extent. Now, why I say that is because so cardio burns calories. What strength training does for you is technically a pound of muscle burns 7 more calories per day than a pound of fat. The only way to put on muscle is to lift heavy things. So basically, instead of having to get on the machine and do cardio, technically, if you put on a pound of muscle, your body naturally burns more calories on its own. So the more muscular you are, the more calories your body burns on its own. So understanding that would say that, again, we want to try to become more muscular, therefore our body would just burn those calories without having to work as hard for them. So in lifting weights, I know there's definitely a lot of confusion with that, especially in those sort of modern type gyms. They'll have, all these fancy sort of machines. Yeah, we'll have all these machines. They aren't necessarily the best thing for you. They do make it sort of easier at the beginning to have sort of correct form, but a lot of them are making it so that you modify these exercises without you even knowing it, and therefore you're not getting the most out of them. So for me, like, I have a gym in my house, and I have a squat rack and a bench press bench and a bunch of dumbbells and a barbell. I do have a couple pieces of cardio equipment. I have an elliptical and a treadmill. Now, if that is all I have, and I do every single workout here at my gym. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, realistically, if you work in the sort of free weight section of your gym versus on the machine sections, you're going to, as long as we kind of get through the noise, you're going to get more out of your workouts. So that's it. So let's try to work towards getting to free weights, try and work away from working on the machines. Now, the movements themselves. Now, again, unfortunately, like, a lot of people go to the gym and they have this big goal to start to, whatever it is, lose weight. For the most part, is what everybody's goal is. But they don't know exactly where to start. And this sort of what I see a lot when I'm at the gym, or when I go to the gym, which right now isn't very often, due to the fact that I have one at my house. People just like, okay, well, I'm out there, and this is what the easiest movement for me. I'm gonna just jam these bicep curls, and I'm gonna become fit. Now, I'm not sure if that's what those people are thinking, but I know that there's people at the gym that, jump on a piece of cardio equipment, get off, walk to the dumbbells, pick up a set of dumbbells, and just do bicep curls. Maybe it's because they don't know how to do anything else. This is what they've seen people do. I'm not sure. My guess is that they just don't, they're not informed enough to work on some movements that potentially will just help them out more so than anything. So what I want to talk about is combination exercises, and combination exercises are the exercises that you're going to want to do when you sort of first start training, because you're going to get the most out of them versus isolation exercises, which are kind of, as you progress into becoming fitter and fitter, and if bodybuilders use those isolation exercises, they're really good for like definition and stuff like that, but not necessarily for overall muscle mass, which is kind of where we want to start with, because again, the more muscle we put on, the more calories our body naturally burns. So the exercises, like, when I first start with clients, most of the time what I do is we start off almost the same way, and it's running through about 10 different exercises to start. We'll just break them into like upper body and lower body, and then we kind of just work through that. If it depends on how many times a week they're going and stuff like that, there'll be variations. But so what it looks like for the upper body things, I want what I would like to see is bench press, or push-ups, I guess, realistically, overhead press or shoulder presses, upright rows, which are you can Google all these things, upright rows, bent over rows, or just rows of some sort. You can do them on the cable machine at your gym, and pull-ups. Oh, sorry, there's one more. Pull-ups, or a variation of pull-ups. Most of those gyms will have a cable machine that pulls down, and then dips. For people that can't do pull-ups or dips, there's the machines that have like the counterweight on them. Those are a good place to start. As far as the lower body goes, lunges, or something that I call rear elevated split squats. They work your sort of glutes and hamstrings a little more. Squats are huge. Everyone should be squatting. Deadlifts and hip thrusters. So those are your kind of 10 movements. If you did those 10 movements to start off and really like concentrated on number one, form, and number two, progressively lifting heavier and heavier, you would become stronger and you would become more fit. I was going to say fitter, but fitter is not a word. Now, I guess what I need to talk about quickly is sort of your mindset when it comes to this stuff. And I talked about it before, is that we live in a world of like instant gratification. So, I mean, if we want to know something, it's so easy to find out. Well, I mean, we have these phones nowadays, right? So, but fitness goals are built on delayed gratification. So what you need to do is just like make a plan and trust the process. So I hope that all makes sense. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll see you on Wednesday.